friends, and welcome to My Chemical Fancast. I'm Kat.
And I'm Haley.
And this is a podcast dedicated to all things My Chemical Romance. What's up, y'all? Today, we are doing another patron episode, because if you hadn't noticed, we're out of MCR content, kind of. But this is a patron episode from maybe our favorite patron? One of our favorite patrons.
I don't know if we can pick favorites. Can we pick favorites?
We won't pick favorites, okay, but she's our favorite. One of our patrons, Cherith McGregor, who is just like a sweet angel, which is evident by the fact that her request for her patron episode, which is owed to her because she has been a huge supporter of us for so long, at a certain tier in our Patreon, which you can also be a part of at patreon.com/chemicalfancast. Her patron episode was she wanted us to talk about our favorite things. And we've sort of framed this, or we wrote it down as Oprah's favorite things, but we're Oprah. So yeah, that's sort of what this is. And then also we did, we've done a Q&A on social media because we thought that sort of fit in. So that's what this episode is.
Mm-hmm. An amalgamation.
An amalgamation of just us.
Isn't that exciting? This is what you listen to this podcast for, right?
Right? This is a real test of how much do people listen for us versus how much do people listen for My Chemical Romance, and we'll find out. We'll find out after this drops.
Yep.
What the numbers are.
If you just listen for MCR, that's okay.
That is okay. That's all I would listen for.
Yeah. Who cares about people?
Human connection. Don't know her. All right. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So I don't know. I mean, Haley, we've sort of discussed that we would talk about what's going on with our lives, what we're enjoying, and some big favorites of ours, I guess. So Haley, what's going on in your life? What are you enjoying? What are some big favorites of yours?
What am I enjoying right now? Overall, I would say favorite things include Broadway, because always.
What are you like? Are you in a production?
I'm I'm in Titanic right now, but it's not like a real production of Titanic. It's a concert version, which basically just means there's no blocking to memorize.
Okay, because I was about to say, I've never seen a stage production of fucking Titanic, and I would love to.
Well, there is a stage version of Titanic. It's not the Jack and Rose version. It's a...
fuck it then.
I know. It's a historical drama of, the lives of the Titanic passengers and all that.
Are you telling me that Leonardo DiCaprio in Titanic was not historically accurate? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, I don't want to burst your bubble.
Is that not a documentary?
Not technically.
God damn it.
There's no drawing in the fashion of a French girl in this production.
I've been fooled again.
Bamboozled.
Damn it. That James Cameron.
Yeah, so that's one thing. But I mean, Titanic is kind of not to rag on it, but it's not one of my favorites. But I will say one of my favorites right now is Waitress. I'm really vibing on Waitress.
Yeah. I've heard of Waitress. I heard that people really like Waitress.
It's good. We see Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder is always a favorite. Dogfight is one of my favorite musicals. Yeah, there's a bunch. So dive into the world of Broadway. It's going to be fun.
Intimidating. I saw that Heathers.
Oh, Heathers is one of my fucking favorites.
Yeah. I don't know much about how they've adapted it.
It's pretty great.
I can see it working for that.
Yeah. They keep some of the iconic lines, fuck me gently with a chainsaw, or
which I say to myself on a daily basis.
Yeah, they have it in there, and there's a lot in there. It's just really good. Yeah, so that's one thing. What are you vibing on?
I don't know. I'm I'm doing my regular stuff with my regular life of going to work and then going home and then petting my cats and seeing my friends. One favorite thing I have is I just started knitting lately because I'm trying to knit a scarf for a good friend of mine. And so I've been learning how to knit. And listen, I don't know how to fucking knit. I know one stitch and I'm just really going for it. But it is enjoyable and satisfying to make something,
Mm-hmm. For sure.
I also don't know if I can call this a favorite, but it's Bachelor season again.
Oh my God.
And here I am watching The Bachelor.
Listen, I am also watching The Bachelor. I have two friends that watch it with me, and I go over to their apartment, and we have this layout where it's a red tablecloth with fake rose petals and tea lights and a fake bouquet of roses, and we
Oh
make
my
dinner, and
God.
we have wine, and we watch The Bachelor.
Wow.
And we have like a fantasy league going, so we picked,
Oh yeah, we did a fantasy league once in my friend
yeah,
group.
it was so fun.
Um,
Or it's been fun. Like we have like 3 girls right now, and my team is Madison, whom I call Anna Kendrick because she looks like Anna Kendrick. Um, Hannah Ann,
Hannah Ann.
yeah, and Victoria F, the girl with the really big eyes.
I think we do fantasy leagues differently because like our fantasy league was just like, oh, I guess it wasn't a fantasy league. It was just sort of like guessing like who would get voted off, you know, but there was like a whole website for it.
Yeah.
There's also The Bachelorette. But yeah, I used to also watch it with a friend group and like it would also be like a wine night. No, it was like wine and spaghetti. That's what it was. We did do that.
Yeah.
And now I moved and I don't live near any of those people. So we just like talk about it in our group chat. Yeah, I'm watching The Bachelor. This season is awful, but they're all awful in their own ways. This one is just like a lot of drama out of nothing. Like they
The
tried
fucking
so
champagne
hard.
bottle.
They tried so hard. The producers, God bless them, they tried so hard to make drama this season. And like it's so transparent because it makes the least sense out of any drama that's ever existed.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
It's so weird. And also like people are just like mad at Elia because she's human. Like she's a
Yeah.
person and people decided they didn't like her. She's too pretty. I don't know. Um The Bachelor is like horrifying but also so entertaining.
It's a good time.
It's a it's a mixed bag, but also a good time. Also, as far as media goes, I've found this British series via YouTube called Taskmaster, and it's like they get like 5 comedians to go for like a short like 6-episode season on this kind of fake game show, and like they all get assigned these like weird tasks that they all have to complete in their own way, and it's just very funny. The British are much better at utilizing their pool of comedians than we are in the US. Like, they do reality TV way better than us. Like, of course, they have like trashy, like UK Jersey Shore reality TV, but also they have reality TV where like the contestants aren't just like regular Joe people who are kind of boring. They're fucking comedians, you know? Like they're a level beyond us, you know? Like it's
Yeah.
all entertaining because they're professional entertainers doing the whole show and that's why you watch.
Right.
And we just watch to see like average fucks fall on their face all the time, you know?
Yeah.
So I enjoy the British reality TV.
Yeah. I also recently got into Bon Appetit Kitchen.
Yes. Yes.
I started
my
watching
boys.
Gourmet Makes. I love Claire.
Yes, I would die for Claire. I would die for her. I would take a bullet. Her and
That's
Chris
r-
Morocco. If they
That's
ever
really
need anything.
intense.
If they ever need anything, fucking call me.
Oh my gosh. Yep, so I recently got into them and I really like them and I've been watching a lot of Gourmet Makes.
Yes, I'm a huge stan of Gourmet Makes and like of Bon Appetit in general. Like the Test Kitchen crew, my faves. Yes, Chris Morocco. Chris Morocco at first, like you think maybe he's like too chefy to be relatable, okay? But then he does those videos where he has to like dupe a dish without seeing it. And like whenever he goes to the supermarket, you can tell he's a very chill and fun guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that about him.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Good times. What are their favorite things? Kat, top 3 favorite movies, go.
Oh, motherfucker. Okay. It's so hard. I'm just going to name some movies I like. I don't know if they're my top 3.
Okay.
Call Me By Your Name. All right. A problematic fave.
Oh boy.
Problematic fave. But like, I just love it. It like, when I watch it, I just think about summertime and I think about Italy and I'm like,
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
a
very
good vibe.
glorious.
Yeah.
It's such a good vibe. And like, I watch it, I've probably rewatched it the most of like out of any movie because it just like makes me feel good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a fave. Josie and the Pussycats,
Oh yeah.
another fave. This is a classic throwback fave. This is a fave that like made me who I am today. And much like MCR, it was maligned in its time. Like people were like, "Oh, that's a shitty movie." Like they didn't get like the humor of like all the product placement and stuff, and like everyone kind of shit on it. And now that it's like 20 years later, and like the people who loved it are grown up again, the women who loved it are grown up.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's also getting a renaissance of people who are like, "Hey, Josie and the Pussycats was kind of awesome." And you know what? They're right. It was. It was awesome.
Yeah.
An incredible piece of cinema. And then maybe it's a tie between Contact and Interstellar, which are very similar movies with a shared cast member in both of them of Matthew McConaughey. Contact was my favorite movie, like, of all time, and then Interstellar came out, and I was like, holy shit, this is, like, better Contact. So it's a toss-up between those two things. I really like space a lot.
Yeah.
That's all.
I feel it.
I think I've cried at both movies. So there you go.
That's all right. It's okay to cry at movies.
Haley, top 3 favorite movies, go.
1, The Princess Bride.
Great choice.
Slaps, moving on. 2, The Prince of Egypt.
That also slaps.
Animation is incredible. The story is incredible. The soundtrack is one of the best fucking things I've ever heard. Like the Plagues chorus, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
My God.
That was an incredible movie, and it's also, like, a very intense movie to watch as a child.
Yeah, like, I watched it all the time as a kid, and, like, it was really intense. Like, we watched it in Sunday school, but it was really intense.
Yeah, like, if you went to any religious function as a kid, they would show you Prince of Egypt.
And then 3rd favorite movie, A Muppet's Christmas Carol, all year round. Doesn't matter what time of year.
Oh, man. That's also valid. Man, Labyrinth didn't make the list?
It's up there, but
it's below Muppet's Christmas Carol.
The Muppet's Christmas Carol is just one of those, like, I started watching The Labyrinth when I was, like, 11, but I started watching Muppet's Christmas Carol when I was 6. So I feel like, it's really, it just overtakes The Labyrinth for me in a lot of ways, in, like, a nostalgia way, and, you know.
That's fair. We've said a lot of favorite things, right? Should we say more favorite things?
I don't know. I don't have any more favorite things.
We might revisit favorites, but we also have, the other portion of this episode is the Q&A, where we asked you guys for questions. And you gave them to us. Oh boy.
Delivered.
We can't answer all your questions because there are too many. But we have them all, and we're going to go through them and get through as many as we get through. There are, like, over 90 questions, so...
Yeah.
That's what we're dealing with.
So since it's Cherith's episode, we'll start off with her questions. She had a couple. So first question from Cherith is, obviously, you are my favorite podcast. Do you have any pods you enjoy and want to recommend us, the fans? Well, I have a couple that I know. My first one is Buffering the Vampire Slayer because it's one of my favorite podcasts.
That's great.
You know, I don't actually listen to a ton of podcasts, to be honest.
I know. Neither do I, which makes me feel like a huge fucking hypocrite.
It's kind of like that feeling where, like, if you want to be a good writer, you have to read a lot. If you want to be a good podcaster, you have to listen to a lot. But I feel like it's not true.
Here's the thing. We reached a level of mediocrity that we were happy with our podcast.
We have plateaued.
Then we didn't need to reach any further.
We accepted. We have settled.
That's right.
Another good one, though, is the Fake Geek Girls podcast.
Oh, yeah. That one is very good.
Yeah.
They're very aligned with our interests.
Yes, very. And they are also a lot smarter than I am. So it's sometimes the conversation goes a little over my head, but I will listen anyway and try and up my IQ points a little bit.
Yeah, they're what I aspire to be in our podcast, and what I can never be. But I enjoy them. They are really good. We both really like the podcast Nancy.
Oh, yeah.
Nancy is a great podcast, a great queer podcast. I also really like Jeff Rickley's podcast called Dark Blue, which is about mental health and the arts. He, like, interviews a lot of people he knows in the music community and talks about different aspects of mental health, and it's honestly just very soothing. So there's another one that I found recently called History is Gay, and they essentially, I mean, it's kind of like what it says on the tin. Like, they look at historical figures who may or may not have been considered gay or queer or trans or what have you in their time, but they just sort of, like, re-examine them, and it's really interesting to me. Yeah, so that's an answer.
Yeah, plenty of podcasts for people to check out.
Cherith's next question, which I think is maybe similar to some other questions that we got, is you don't need to have the answers as to what this all means, but how are you feeling in this wild time? In MCR dropping a bunch of cryptic stuff every other day. Stressed? I feel stressed.
I'm not so much stressed about it as I am excited and a little bit nostalgic because this is very similar. It has a similar vibe to Danger Days for me.
Yes.
With all the cryptic stuff. So, yeah, I feel good. I feel jazzed. I feel excited.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it because I didn't really get to participate in a lot of that when it was happening before because I didn't really have many MCR friends. I wasn't as like plugged into the community, so it is fun to sort of get to do that again now. It's stressful just not knowing. Like they always like just drop stuff and you're like, fuck. And like takes up your entire day and that's what's stressful.
Yeah.
But it is fun.
I feel like they're going to Beyonce us.
I think they're going to Beyonce us too. Like some people are like talking about when they might release album dates and I'm like, girl, you hope they release album dates.
Yeah, you wish.
I don't think they're going to do that.
If we're lucky, they'll give us a date.
Nope. I'm not counting on a date.
No.
Like, especially like since Beyonce did that, like everybody does that. Everybody just drops stuff.
Yeah. Surprise.
Yeah. Damn it, Beyonce. Just made our world so difficult.
No, doesn't she?
Do you want to read the next question?
Yeah. The next one comes from Kristen on Facebook. She says, I think you have mentioned having MCR tattoos. That might be me projecting. If so, what are they and what tattoos would you want or do you want?
I don't know. I don't have very direct MCR tattoos. I have like a bat on my ankle, which is like both is and is not an MCR tattoo.
It is because you wanted Gerard's bat buckle silhouette. So
that's true. That is what I base it off of. Even though it doesn't quite look like that. And I also have some vampire teeth on my arm, which again, both are and are not an MCR tattoo. They're like based, I'm a Bullets bitch, okay? I'm a Bullets bitch. And I really like the song Vampires, and I was gonna put like a Vampires quote around it, but I don't have any words on my body yet. And I was just like, I'm not ready. So I just got the teeth. So that's all I have.
Yeah, I have a few. Well, I obviously, like, I have the party poison symbol. Not obviously, but, like, if you see a picture...
No one can see you, Haley.
If you see a picture of me with short sleeves, then you already know this. I have the party poison symbol tattooed on my arm. I have the Frank symbol, which is MCR adjacent, on my ankle. I have a big old tattoo on my side of the Frank lyrics, "This life is yours if you want it." What else? I'm trying to think of all my tattoos because I lose track of them sometimes.
I think that's all you've got that's MCR related.
Yeah, I think that's it. I have 2 Frank ones and then 1 MCR one.
Yeah. As far as like what we want, I've got a whole list of tattoos that I want. I definitely want to get, I don't know, there's so much that I want. I don't even know how to answer that. Like, I want it all.
I want a big old bat on my thigh. That's what I want.
I would support that. Get like a good ass bat.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I want a really big one that goes from like the top of the thigh basically to like 3/4 of the way down. I want it all in line work and shadowing.
Yes. Yes, I support.
And I want it like a hanging fruit bat that's like really detailed.
Yes. I would love that. I want like, I don't know, I've got like a whole list of like lyrics that I want to work into things. I want to like maybe have like, one of the Killjoy guns, or like maybe I want to have, what else did I want to have? I forgot. Oh, A Lady of Sorrows or something. Because hello.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a lot of things that I want, but I'm not ready to pull the trigger yet.
Yeah. If I didn't do theater, I would definitely be covered in tattoos, like head to toe.
If I wasn't poor, I would be covered.
Also that too.
I don't have any money, especially not now in these times when we have to buy MCR tickets. I have no fucking money.
Yeah.
Next question is from Jesselyn. They say, I want to hear your anecdotes. You've mentioned stuff briefly on the show, but tell us how you got into MCR and all that jazz. I'm pretty sure we've both talked about this at some point before, but we'll like give a short version again. I got into MCR probably like in 5th or 6th grade. I remember like one of my first MCR memories was watching the Ghost of You video on their website over and over again and like being very emotional about it. So like that was probably my entrance into MCR. And then I also remember like being very hyped for their VMAs performance for the Black Parade. But yeah, that's like it sounds anticlimactic, but that's most of what I can remember of like how it first began.
Mm-hmm. I've talked about this several times before, but I guess I'll talk about it again. I was very into 21 Jump Street.
I'll never get tired of this story, honestly. It's so weird.
I know, I was a weird child. I was very into 21 Jump Street, like Johnny Depp, the McQuaid brothers, like all the shit. And I was watching a fan video of the McQuaid brothers, who are basically, they impersonate teenagers and like go undercover in high school. And I was watching a video of them, and Teenagers was playing as the song in the video. And I was like, this song fucking slaps. Who is this? So yeah, I looked them up, and then later on saw like the Famous Last Words video and was like mesmerized by it, so that I just like I fell headfirst into it. Okay, Rachel on Facebook asks, I wondered how you find the time to fit the fan cast into your lives. Such regular, high-quality content is quite a commitment. Thank you so much, Rachel.
Rachel.
You are so nice.
God.
How do you do it, and how long are you planning to continue? Not that I want you to stop anytime soon. Well,
we're chaotic is the answer.
Yeah. Sometimes, like for recording sessions, they'll often be about 2-ish hours long.
Yeah.
Depending on the episode, sometimes 3. I remember
3 as if we're really off the fucking rails.
Yeah. I remember that one with poor Cassie that was 4 hours long. 5 hours, was it?
God bless. What a fucking saint.
I know.
It was
she
like 4 hours
dealt
long.
with us for 5 hours.
I know.
I mean, we recorded 2 episodes that day, though.
Yeah. We didn't think about that.
No. But yeah, we write notes like mostly while we're at work. That's what I do anyway. I write notes while I'm
Not
at work. Because, what else am I doing with my time at work? And you just a lot of research time, either at work or like on the weekends or something.
We both have desk jobs, which is how we're able to do that.
Yes, that's exactly it. Like, we don't have jobs that have us up and running around and doing stuff all the time. And then we just kind of take evenings once every other week and record some stuff.
Yeah, we, if we were smarter, we'd have more of a backlog, and we don't.
Nah.
So we do a lot of recording, like whenever an episode drops, it's like very fresh. We usually recorded that just a couple days before.
Listen, this is now a current news podcast, so we need to keep up with the times.
Exactly. You're exactly right, Haley. Yes. So we usually like record midweek, the week before an episode drops, and then like I'll edit the episode a couple days later. I don't know. It doesn't take too much time, but because we don't have a backlog, it is like a recurring time amount. So, it takes like, I don't know. It depends on the episode of how long it takes to edit, but like probably like 4 to 6 hours to edit from like start to finish. But yeah, and as far as like how long we're planning to continue, we have a couple obligations to fulfill. We have a couple episodes we've had in mind that we need to complete, and then we also have some patron episodes that we need to complete. After that, we're probably gonna peace out until like we're needed again. Like
yeah, that's up to
superheroes.
MCR.
Yeah, like whenever MCR sets up a signal, we'll be there. But so yeah, I'm not sure. We've probably got a couple months left, but eventually we will go into hibernation. Sierra asks a hypothetical. Sierra says, you're making a movie about the band. Who do you cast to play the guys?
Christina Ricci as Gerard.
Perfect. Exactly. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Who would Frank be, though? Jesus.
Oh, fucking Danny DeVito.
Oh my God. No, stop. That's not allowed. That's not allowed.
I think it's accurate.
You know who Frank would be? Let's say that it's about bullets. Let's say we're making like an origin story, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Christina Ricci
Is he gonna be Post Malone?
No. Christina Ricci as Gerard. Pete Davidson as Frank.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Pete Davidson as Frank. Mikey.
And Mikey.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yes, that's exactly what I was fucking thinking.
Really? Because it doesn't make sense.
But it does. It does, though. It's exactly what I was thinking. Or, like, what's his fucking name? Ezra?
Oh, yeah, Ezra Miller?
Yes.
Oh, my God. Yes. Yes, that's correct. I approve. Yes, very good. Yes, very good. Yes, very good. Oh my gosh. I was thinking about
Yep.
Lin-Manuel Miranda, but they have very different energies.
Oh, well, that would really, for Ray?
For Ray.
Yes.
But he's not like, I mean, he's got the niceness, you know? But is he more energetic than Ray?
I don't think so. Ray's a cartoon character. Like, he is straight up.
Oh, if we're talking about bullets, actually, yes, it would fit. Because remember
Yes.
that fucking WSOU
Yes.
interview where Ray is the most chaotic in the background?
And then this breakdown helped out a lot. What the frick? And then a nurse. And I'm like, wait, maybe I'm destined to be a band. And let me tell you a story. You want to hear a story of Ray Toro? Be quiet.
Go right ahead.
This is you really touched me.
I haven't said a thing.
No, you've been laughing like a joke.
We're laughing at him. You ever see Conan where he's doing the whole bit and then there's like the...
Wait, you watched Conan? The other day they showed Conan the Destroyer. Conan the Destroyer, dude, on TBS. Oh my God, that was amazing. You watched it?
Me and my mom watched it the other day, dude.
You guys need to shut up.
All right, yes.
And then Gerard's like, shut up. And he's like, I didn't do anything.
Yes,
Yes, you did, Ray.
A younger Lin-Manuel Miranda for Ray.
Yes.
To capture that bullets energy. Oh, man. And, like, I could see him also, like, melding into the part, you know?
Yeah, for sure. He'd kill it.
Next question.
In an interview, Frank said, I think if we were coming back, we wouldn't be cryptic about it. So what do you think about them being all cryptic now? My thought is that when they announced their reunion, that was not cryptic.
Exactly.
That's the only thing he promised, is when they return, they wouldn't be cryptic about their return. They were not. Now they're allowed to be cryptic because the reunion is cat's out of the bag. So
yeah, now we're suffering. But yeah, they weren't cryptic about the announcement because, like, it happened very quickly of, like, the changes, and then the announcement was, like, maybe a half hour afterwards. So, like, yeah. So I appreciate that. I don't like that they use it as an excuse to hurt us now, but that's fine.
It's part of the experience. It's always been part of the experience.
It is part of the experience. Next question is from Miss_Monroses. That rumor that MCR were approached to make a musical for the Black Parade before Green Day, except for American Idiot, has led me thinking what if ever since I heard about it. If you had to make an MCR album into a musical, which would you choose and how would you adapt it?
It's gotta be Black Parade.
Right? Yeah, it's the best one. But hear me out.
Oh.
What if we made Bullets into a musical?
Oh boy.
But the musical is not an adaptation of the music. It's just an adaptation of the story of Bullets.
Oh God.
It's just an adaptation of these New Jersey boys getting together making a band.
Oh my God. How adorable.
I know.
Wow. If we're going like full on Broadway style though, it does have to be the Black Parade.
It does. Imagine
and
all
you
the
could-
stage decorations.
Oh my God. The lighting would be incredible.
Amazing.
The costumes. Oh man. Wow.
Here's the thing. I feel like if you did that, you would have to stick to sort of the aesthetic that they already planned out with, like, the City of the Dead and, like,
Yes.
the Welcome to the Black Parade video. And so I feel like you'd have to work in that world.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And that's one of the things about jukebox musicals is that you take the character names from the songs and make those like the in Broadway characters. Like in the show characters. So like we would have Mother War, we would have The Patient, we would have Fear and Regret, we would probably have Pepe somewhere.
Pepe would just be like the narrator, you know?
Yeah.
But I feel, you know what? I can see it now. I can see it. It's an existential play, okay, about like how tortured the patient is. And like he's obviously the main character and like it's about his struggle with his past sins and his death, etc. I can see it.
Oh, the devil would be a character.
Absolutely. Well, the devil's the two wolves. I don't know how you do that, but yes.
Well, you don't have to necessarily adapt it like exactly.
Yes,
know?
Maybe he would like have a name that was wolfish, or
yeah,
he would have an outfit that was wolfish. But yes, I can see it in my mind. Actually, I can already make the musical.
Here we
Somebody
go.
get me a contract. I can already write it out for you.
Wow. Next is from our friend Brianna on Facebook. She says, did MCR impact y'all a lot, especially as women or queer people, especially in the mid-2000s? Yeah.
Yes, moving on.
Short answer, yes. Yeah, I would say it's part of being other, like being a queer kid in the mid 2000s. It's part of that otherness group that kind of pushes you towards MCR. So being into that kind of music pushed me towards drama. It pushed me towards making similar friends, you know. So I had a whole group of queer friends that
A
were
gaggle,
also
if
like,
you will.
yeah, a gaggle of gays that were either all into drama or also into MCR or something like that, you know. So yeah.
Yeah, I think like because I didn't have as many friends, you know, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I kind of was impacted from a gender perspective just because they were so non-aggro, you know, and like they were like a male rock group, but they weren't making music like other male rock groups. And so I think that sort of affected me by, I don't know, being able to focus more on the music and the art and not feeling like you were sort of left out because you weren't a bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best reason I've got. On to the curious cats. We'll see how many of these we get through. So we had a couple anonymous questions about, are we going to do an episodes of the guys' solo projects? Short answer, I think at this point, is probably no. And it's because of me. Hi, I'm a stick in the mud. I think it's just like, the whole reason we did this podcast was because like there's so much fucking content, you know, like in the art, and I haven't been able to think of a way yet to where we could talk about a lot of the solo records without just like speculating about personal sides of the lyrics, which I feel like we would get wrong because we don't know
Right.
a lot of what's behind that. Because like the solo records don't do like the world building in the same way. So I don't know. I feel like there's not as much meat to dig into there. And the meat that there is to dig into,
It's not our business.
Yeah, feels sketch. Like the song about like, wasn't it No Love on Barriers? That's about Frank's parents' divorce. We would never have known that.
That's not our fucking business.
Well, like we would never have known that if he hadn't said that. And imagine
yeah.
if people were speculating that it was about like him and Jameer or something. Like that is
Right.
not a route I want to go down.
Nope.
So the short answer is probably won't be doing that. But you can.
Yeah,
free.
take up the mantle.
Feel free.
This one is from Chris Sick with 2 Ks on Twitter. They say, as someone who finds MCR community within following you both and listening to your amazing podcast, I wanted to ask your opinion on how the MCR fandom has evolved and changed since you first started getting into this band, and what does it mean to both of you? Well, I think right now we're in a really interesting time where it's kind of come full circle.
Yeah.
It's right now the fandom is very similar to how it was when I was 14.
Yes, you're not wrong.
Except there's just way more social media involved and it's more connected, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fandom has changed just as much as like the internet has changed, because like my experience of the fandom back in the day was, I mean, some of it was like more classic, like more in common with like what your parents might have had like in the 80s or whatever, in that you just had more physical items, you know, like you went through like album art and like you would burn CDs, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
But we also had like aim away messages, you know, and MySpace playlists and like, so I mean, yeah, I think the fandom has come full circle and that it's very like young again. Like it was young when we were young and it's like still pretty young. People are on the internet using it in the ways that are native to them. I think it's pretty similar. You know, like sometimes you would have binders, you know, with like a bunch of pictures of like Gerard in them.
Yep.
And now you just have IG stan accounts with a bunch of pictures of Gerard in it.
Yeah.
So
same thing.
Not too much has changed.
Evolved for this modern age,
Yes.
the internet age.
Wait, I
So-
changed my answer. One thing has changed, which is that people make internet mobs now, and that can chill. You know?
Yeah.
That can
True.
all chill. We've gotten a couple questions like this, so I'll sort of make this an amalgamation question. But Miranda R. Paz on Instagram asked, what are you guys' theories about all the witch stuff that's going on lately? Do you believe it's anything to do with Paper Kingdom? And then some other people just asked us to talk about like theories about what's going on. Are they releasing Paper Kingdom? What do we make of all of their symbolism, etc.? We're pretty hyped about the witch stuff, I think. Would you agree? The consensus
Yes.
is we're pretty fucking hyped.
Well, I think I think there's definitely like ties to the Paper Kingdom, but like it's had years to develop, you know?
Yeah.
So I
As
don't
far as
think
that, like, there's no way this is the Paper Kingdom.
no, it's definitely not going to be the Paper Kingdom that Gerard originally told us about.
No.
If it is, if it stemmed from that idea, it's going to be like vastly different.
Yeah, I think it's like I think honestly it's just entirely coincidental that like the Paper Kingdom was about a witch that lived in the woods.
Uh-huh.
And then like the new stuff is about witchery and involves the woods. Like I think it's just coincidence that that brand of magic involves like the earth and those kinds of rituals. Like I don't think they're related necessarily in that way. I think it is really cool. Like, I mean, it's just really cool to like have a bunch of symbolism and like a bunch of, you know how I feel about arcane rituals. And like mythology, like I've loved being able to like delve into like Thelema and a bunch of like Aleister Crowley shit and a bunch of like Kabbalah and occultist shit and be able to like look at something and be like, holy shit, that's in the video.
Right.
So that part is really fun. And I think it's really interesting to involve that in a new era.
Yep. Sums it up. I don't even want to speculate about like what they're going to do because like we're going to be wrong.
I can't, like
So-
some people have like, I mean, I do think that like September is a thing for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Because June turned out to be a thing.
Yeah, I do think that like the moon cycle thing is real.
I don't think that the moon cycle thing is real because
It has
every
lined
post
up.
that anyone would make would line up with a moon cycle because the moon is always phasing.
I
Like-
know, but like with the actual literal like because there's like only certain days that they mark part of the moon cycle, you know? So I think that's real. And like the season, what is it, the Samhain calendar or whatever
Yeah,
it is.
like the calendar I think is more real than the moon cycle thing.
Uh-huh.
The calendar for sure.
Well, listen, if we get something tomorrow night, then I will be reinforced in my moon cycle belief.
I just love that there are theories, I love that we're talking
Yeah.
about this shit. It's so fun. And I can't, I'm nervous about the parents, but whatever.
I am nervous for the children.
I'm nervous for the parents. I don't know how many parents still do this, but like parents be like, that's devil music,
Of course they still do it.
so, and like
Yeah.
now it's really hard to argue that it's not devil
Yeah,
music.
they've made it kind of difficult. They've made our lives harder in this way.
They have.
All
Pouring
of
out
us have
for your
gone.
religious homies.
Yeah, all of us have gone through this whole devil music thing with our parents. So if we can get through it, then you can get through it. Just endure a few years, and then you can listen to it all you want. Draw a pentacle in the ground, stick a
Yes.
theme in it. Just
No one can stop you from drawing a pentacle on the ground. I knew a kid in high school who like would go to school and like button up shirts, and then he had a bunch of band tees in his locker, and he would like switch them out, and he had a bunch of CDs in there. So
Good for him.
live your secret life, guys. We endorse
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Another question from Jack TX Cliff on Twitter. With respect to the reunion, what are you most looking forward to, the shows or the potential / likely new music?
Oh man,
I don't know.
do we have to choose? I'm just. Oh man, I am excited for the shows. I'm excited to see like how they play together and like, we've seen one, and I just can't wait to see how like they change.
Mm-hmm.
And like how they like redo some old songs.
Yeah, I'm very excited for the new music too, though, because like imagine waking up on
Oh
a
my
day
God.
and then you just go to work and you're listening to new MCR music in your
Oh
headphones
my God.
that nobody has listened to before except for the people who made it.
Oh my God. That is intense. That's
Yeah.
a lot.
That's
That's a
why
lot.
I'm very excited. MCR, this is a not so subtle hint. Please drop an album.
Thank
you so
the
much.
album? We
Where is
want
the album?
the album.
We want the album.
All right. This Anon asked us, if you could go back in time, which era would you most like to see in concert?
Bullets.
That's fair. Do you have a specific Bullets moment
Maxwell's.
in mind? All right.
I want to be the guy in the front. Who did we say that was? The lawn
Oh.
darts singer
Yeah,
who's
lawn
in the
darts.
front.
Yeah.
Who's like, play another song, play another album.
Yeah.
That would be me up there the entire night.
Yeah.
I
think
want
would
Gerard to
also want
scream in my face. I want Frank's stupid ass dreads to be flopping around right in front of my face. That's what I want.
I do want that. I'm torn between that and then the Black Parade debut at Vintage Vinyl.
Yeah, that's
Difficult
also
to
a really
choose.
good one.
I've heard it was very cold and miserable that day, but I don't care. I love it.
Okay, next question, y'all getting personal, is what are your guys' zodiac signs and do you believe in astrology? I am a Gemini. I don't put a lot of stock in astrology, but like it's fun to read a horoscope, you know what I'm saying?
Same. I'm a sun sign Cancer. And yes,
Virgo
I also
moon, Sagittarius rising.
I don't typically believe in astrology because I think that different, I think you could read a description of every sign and it would all work for you in some way.
Yeah.
So, but I do think it is fun.
Yeah, like I follow Drunk Astrology on Instagram, and like it's fun to read like little call out memes for
Yeah, because
for the
sometimes you
signs
do
and
feel
stuff.
called out and you're like,
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, I'm like, oh man, that's me.
I love this excuse for my bad behavior.
Exactly. That's what it is. It's an excuse. Sometimes I'm just born this way. I don't need to
Exactly. And
be
you know
held
what?
accountable for my behavior.
You know what? That's valid though, because like we need self-acceptance.
Yes.
We're all flawed people, okay?
No more
And we can't-
introspection. Introspection is out.
It's out, okay? Self-care. All I'm saying is that everybody is different, and there's some things that are about us that are different, which are okay.
Next question from Phantoms Forever. 4, like the number 4, EVR, love it. How much of what you put into the podcast is stuff you already knew versus things you only found out after research? Has doing this podcast changed any of your thoughts, views, opinions about MCR, like the songs, the guys, the lore, and all that?
I mean, a lot of it because we're just old people and have been in this fandom for a long time. Like, there's a lot that we've like run across before and that we like remember or that we know. We usually like go back to like find the sources for that so we can like give you like an actual quote or something.
Right.
It's rare that we don't do that. Sometimes we do that because we're fucking up, but like usually we go back to make sure that we can find like the source and tell you guys about it. But yeah, a lot of it is stuff that we've heard about from our years of being old MCR fans.
Yeah.
But we have definitely found new stuff, especially like since we've been reading Tom Bryant's book and since I got the MCR Black Parade box set, like we've definitely run into some new stuff, which has been really cool.
Pretty much like if there's something that was in an interview, then we knew about it. Like it probably wasn't like readily available. If someone were like, tell me this fact about this specific thing, like we probably wouldn't remember, but going through the songs and doing research again, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. But yeah, so it's helped us recall a lot of stuff, I think. But I mean, definitely we've learned a lot of new stuff, like the fucking Woody Woodpecker thing. I didn't know that.
I know, right? That was our biggest mindfuck.
I know.
Did any of your opinions change? I'm trying to think of like some of my opinions change.
Well, I think the biggest opinion change that I had was on cubicles. Because
do you like cubicles now?
Well, I never disliked cubicles. I was mostly just like, it's a fuckboy song and I'm just gonna have to accept it. And like it's still a fuckboy song, but but that's okay. I think it's less fuckboyish and it's more acceptable because he addresses like the it's not your fault part. It's like it's all on him. It's his own problem that he is having to deal with himself, and he's not putting any of the blame on the girl. So, and also like the whole workplace vibe that is like, fuck a desk.
Fuck a desk. Fuck a photocopier. Deep cuts in the Fancast.
Yep.
I think as for me, like the biggest things are just like the things that we've gotten to explore more. Like they were things that maybe I knew about a little bit, but like hadn't thought about to this degree. Like whenever we've talked about Gerard's martyrdom complex, like I feel like we've really fleshed that out in this podcast.
Yeah.
And it seems like a very significant part of like the work of My Chemical Romance. And like I knew about the Joan of Arc connection and stuff before, but I hadn't really drawn this through line yet through like all of the albums, but like it's there and like that's really cool. And also the stuff about like being able to like see Gerard's evolving thoughts on death. Because that is again like one of my theories about like as a unifying thing of all the My Chemical Romance albums is that it's about Gerard evolving on how he thinks about death.
Yeah.
So like it's just sort of like stuff that we've got to like talk about more and like put together that we wouldn't necessarily have done as casual listeners. As filthy
I mean,
casuals.
I've never been casual.
Well, I mean, but like not having to like
Write essays.
talk about it week after week.
Yeah.
We got another question from an anonymous user on Curious Cat. If the band was going to sit down and listen to the fan cast, what is the one episode you'd want them to listen to? One episode you'd want them to avoid? Would the episodes be different for each band member? If not just one episode, then what is one album analyzation that you would want them to hear?
I want Gerard to sit down and listen to episode 15 where
Oh my gosh, it's so specific.
we drag him through the mud
Oh no!
and tell him that he's going to be tarred and feathered and guillotined in the revolution.
Oh man.
I would love
Is it because
for
you
him
want
to
to see
listen-
his reaction
I
to decide if
do.
we have to do that?
Yes. That's exactly it. His reaction will gauge, our response. So if he reacts well, then he like laughs at it and he's like, yeah, you're right. Then, he's fine. But if not,
If not, you have a bag of feathers at the ready.
I might have some boiling tar in my apartment. It's not a big deal. We don't talk about it.
It's always boiling, just like
I
simmering.
just have it at the ready all the time. As for what episode I wouldn't want them to listen to, I don't know. I mean, honestly, like I wouldn't any of them. I wouldn't super care if they listened to any of them because they know it's like two fans discussing, and we've been, I think, pretty respectful.
Yeah.
Overall. I mean, we make fun of them a little bit, but like hopefully they'll understand.
Hopefully they'll understand. I think I'd want them to listen to the episode where I compared them to Sailor Moon.
Yes. That is
I don't
still
even
one of the best
know-
things that's ever happened to me.
I know. I don't know if like Gerard, even though he has an appreciation for anime and manga, I don't know if it extends to magical girl anime like Sailor Moon, but I just need him to hear it because it's the truth.
Yeah. I mean, at the very least, like he knows what Sailor Moon is.
Yes.
And like there's a whole theory that is supported that we discussed. So
Yeah. Or if he had to listen to one album analyzation, maybe Revenge, so that he can tell us who's dead. Or he can at least understand why we're annoyed.
That's okay. All right. That's another question that was asked. If you could have one at answered, like one of your at questions answered, who please, at Gerard, please clarify the revenge story for me because
Here's
I
the
need
thing.
a solid answer.
I only want him to answer after he's listened to us talk about it.
Yes.
Because I need him to understand the confusion before he answers.
All right, so he needs to listen to the entirety of our revenge
Yes.
analysis.
Yes. Or maybe the last one, because I think we talked about it a lot in the last episode, but like he needs to, I need him to be able to address all of our points in his answer rather than just telling us the man or the woman. Otherwise
Yes.
it will not be satisfying.
Yeah, no, I need clarity. Yeah.
As far as episodes that I don't want them to hear, I don't know. I mean, like, again, yeah, I don't think any of them are too bad. Maybe not the ones where like I'm very emotional about his feelings about his family. I don't know. I think they're good feelings, but
Yeah,
that might be weird for him.
maybe. I think a good one for Mikey would be whatever one we discuss Disenchanted because that whole episode was like dedicated to him.
Yeah.
And then for Frank, whatever one we discuss, it was it was a revenge episode. We were talking about Howard Benson,
Oh.
where he insulted the Misfits. And Frank was like, fucking excuse me.
Oh man. Ray can listen. Wait, I want Ray to listen to the ones where we talked about Brian May.
Yes.
About the astral projection
With
connection.
the
he has
hair
with Brian.
melding.
Yes. Oh man.
He'd be like, these bitches are so weird.
But are we wrong though?
No.
No.
You've talked a lot about their issues with WB. Do we know what the status is on their deal there? Do they have to release another album? Do you think their views on the label have changed? I'm going to clarify. When we talk about WB, it's because we have issues with them and not so much that the band has issues with them. They've always said that, like, WB treats us really well and, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, we don't know all their behind-the-scenes stuff and we don't know their contract or whatever. So I just want to clarify, it's because we have issues with corporation.
Yes. And, like, there was a little bit of iffiness, you know. I mean, they still clarified that, like, it wasn't, like, the record label's fault, but, you know, of, like, feeling that they were in machine, which, like, isn't necessarily WB's fault. It's just sort of, like, what happens when you're a giant band. But, you know. But if they weren't happy, I think they would leave.
Yeah.
I think they have enough power in their contract to leave if they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Jace, who is still at Diluted Spells on Twitter, asked, what do you think about the rumor that each My Chem era is being brought back by different forms of summoning? Also, do you think this was recently planned or something that's been in the works for years? I haven't heard that theory, brought back by different forms of summoning. The summoning thing, I think, comes from the video production team that did at the moment of this recording, their most recent video of the sorcerers in the woods doing the pentagram ritual, and like the caption on that was like summoning or something. I don't know. I mean, I don't think I'm not as familiar with that rumor, so I don't really know of like any evidence that each era is being brought back. I think that their video with like the skeleton dudes is more UK based because like that's sort of like where that occultism comes from. And then, like, I think their Danger Days snippet, which is probably going to be, like, a larger video, is US-based because, like, that's, like, Americana, etc. So, I don't know. I do, however, think it was recently planned because of information that has come to light. That they started doing this stuff back in December. So, I don't think this has been in the works for years, besides the reunion in general.
Yeah, I would agree. Okay. This question, vampires or werewolves, answer on 3. 1, 2, 3, vampires.
Vampires. Damn it, I wanted to mess it up and do like have those two werewolves. Okay.
You know, I thought of that, but I don't want to be Bob, so.
I know.
Okay. Which of MCR's major influences are you guys also fans of?
What a great time for us to plug that we have an MCR inspiration playlist on Spotify. Which you can listen to if you wanted to. I mean, I'm a big fan of David Bowie.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of, well, I'm like an average fan of like the Smashing Pumpkins. Their catalog is like too deep for me to be like a big fan, but like I am a fan of the Smashing Pumpkins, even though it's problematic.
You know, I like David Bowie. I like the Smashing Pumpkins. I do not like WPC. I will not elaborate. And I like the Misfits.
Oh yeah. Yes.
I like Otis Redding, even though they only used him for like one influence, but that still counts. Yeah, I mean, I'm not someone who's like, oh, this is like one of my favorite bands in the world, like the Smiths or the Cure, blah blah blah. Like that's not me, but I have one favorite band.
Which one is it?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Shit, I'll never know.
So yeah, I'm like an average fan of a lot of their influences because, you know, why wouldn't you be?
Yeah, and like, you know what? They're bops. Like that playlist is a great playlist because like everything is bops. But yeah, and it's like a lot of classic shit, you know? You got a lot of Cheap Trick, you got a lot of David Bowie, you got a lot of Queen. What can you say? You got some classic Iron Maiden. I think we're average fans of all of that.
Yeah.
Another anonymous question, what are your favorite bands besides My Chem?
I really like Nothing But Thieves.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorites. I like OTEP a lot if I'm really feeling like an angry 15-year-old. I like In This Moment and like the first 3 Fall Out Boy albums.
Specific, yes,
and
I agree.
The first Panic at the Disco album.
Yep. It's so hard for me to answer this question because I'm always finding new bands I'm a fan of. I really like the White Stripes and the Yeah Yeah Yeahs as far as like bands I listened to in middle school that I'm still a fan of.
Mm-hmm.
Also a big fan of Against Me and Laura Jane Grace's solo stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Fan of Jawbreaker.
Oh, Kimbra and Florence and the Machine. Those are another two.
Also very good. Yeah, I'm a big fan of like the Alabama Shakes, Culture Abuse, Love Culture Abuse, Pup, that one Menzingers album specifically.
Just the one.
Just the one. I think that covers most of it. And Dilly Dally. Really digging Dilly Dally.
Okay. And our very last question that we have time to answer is, what is your favorite song off of each album?
God, this is hard.
So for Bullets,
how do you pick a Bullet song when they're all so good?
you know, I don't know. I think mine is kind of a tie between Early Sunsets and Vampires.
Yeah, of course it is. Those are the best ones.
I know. I cannot choose between them. I will not. So, yeah, so I would say, if I had to pick between Vampires and Early Sunsets, I think I would go with Vampires.
Okay. I think I would go with Early Sunsets.
Wow, divided.
Because I think I remember picking Early Sunsets in that bracket.
I'm surprised that you would pick Early Sunsets over Vampires.
Listen, sometimes you don't know what you're going to do when you're down to the wire.
Wow, under
it's just
pressure.
Like it's so beautiful. You know, it's so hard though because Vampires is so good.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts.
And the video sways me a little bit too.
The video is very good. Oh man, fuck. But I have to commit. Okay, I'm committing to Early Sunsets, and that's just the life I'm living right now.
All right. Off of Revenge. Oh gosh.
I hate this game.
I mean, God, Revenge is my favorite album. So, like, Give 'em Hell, Kid, Hang 'em High, Fashion Statement.
No. You gotta pick one.
Oh God. All right. You go first.
For Revenge, I have to pick my good old standby, The Ghost of You.
Yep.
Because I'm a loyal bitch.
Yeah. Oh boy. I just have the scream from Hang 'em High and then the bass line from Give 'em Hell, Kid playing in my head, and like I can't get past them.
You must.
But also like the intro for Jet Set Life and the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
But also the lyrics for Fashion Statement.
Oh my God. Just do Thank You for the Venom and get it done with.
You can't just fall back.
It has all of those
on a reliable. No, you can't. I'm gonna say Hang 'em High.
All right, a bold choice.
Yeah, it is. I'm sticking to it.
Black Parade. Here's what kills me, is that what I want to pick is The End and Dead stitched together.
They're one song. You're allowed to do that.
Am I allowed to do that?
I would
because
say
I would
so.
love to do that.
I would say
I
yes
would love to
because they're one song.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
That's what I pick.
I am obviously picking my favorite song in the world, This Is How I Disappear.
A good choice. A solid choice. Mm-hmm. For Danger Days, oh, fuck, this is hard too. Oh man, do I pick a soft song like Scarecrow or Kids from Yesterday, or do I pick fucking Destroya, you know? Or do I pick Vampire Money for a real left field bop? When I was a kid, I definitely would have said Destroya. And it's still pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
It goes pretty hard. I don't know, Scarecrow, I have to pick Scarecrow, I think. I think Scarecrow gets like the biggest response out of me.
Okay. Off of Danger Days, I think I have to pick Save Yourself, I'll Hold Them Back.
Also a very good choice.
Mm-hmm.
Really support that. Yes. Cool. Oh, Conventional Weapons.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it.
It counts.
It's hard. It does count. It's hard because it all fucking blends together sometimes. Maybe Make Room. It's just very good.
Mm-hmm.
Make Room or Burn Bright, but I think I'm going to pick Make Room.
I was thinking to Burn Bright too. But do I remember every song on Conventional Weapons? No.
Nope. Because a lot of them sound like the same song.
Oh, okay. Boy Division.
Boy Division, very good. Very good. A Cassie Witt favorite.
Mm-hmm. Or Kiss the Ring. Oh, man. Okay. Okay, Boy Division or Kiss the Ring. Ah, shit. No, Boy Division has the La La La's, so I have to go with Boy Division.
That's fair. That's sound judgment right there. All right. I think that's all we have for our Q&A and our Patreon episode. Thank you, Cherith, for sending in this Patreon question. We are going to be completing a lot more Patreon episodes in the very near future. Also, thank you to everyone who sent your questions in. I'm sorry we couldn't read them all, but they were, again, over 90 questions. So we did our best. We really did our best. But thank you for showing up and showing out. Maybe we'll do, we probably won't do another Q&A, but like it's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
I think now we're going to dive right into our last favorite things to talk about for this week, which is, Haley, what is your song of the week?
My song of the week is an MCR parody song.
Oh, intrigue.
So this is an MCR parody song by one of our patrons, Joanna Van Toon. I don't super know how to say her last name, but she's at Jo Pincushion on Twitter. It's a song she wrote as part of a compilation album raising money to fight cystic fibrosis. But the song fucking slaps, and it's really funny, and it's about how basically like everyone's too poor to afford tickets.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah, but
That's true.
so if you buy the song, it's on Bandcamp, and I think it is also right now on Spotify. But if you want to buy that song on Bandcamp, it will help raise money for cystic fibrosis research. So there you go.
Cool. A good cause. My song of the week is by a band we've already talked about that we had an interview with a little while ago, Sarah and the Safe Word. They came out with a new track in January, and it's called All Scotch, No Soda. And it is a fucking bop. It's really fucking good.
You should be grateful. I've never looked no better. You made a clean break. I'm all washed up. What are the chances? My love for my tormentor. You took the elevator all the way up. Well, you're all scotch and soda. Your fingertips get torture. Send my body back to New Orleans and dream a little dream of me.
I have been having the time of my life listening to it. Go listen to it. It's great. Sarah is great. The band is great. That band is excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, MCR, if you're going to play in the Southeast, I know who should open for you.
Yep.
It's them. They're fantastic.
Yeah, they're so talented. They're fucking like tight.
They're tight as fuck. And like, I just love hearing people that we know, like, make cool shit. Like, I love that. Like, The Keepsake also had like a great single drop, and like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I love it when our friends do awesome stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is a very good song by a very good band. Check it out. Now, it is time, I believe, to thank our patrons. The list has grown, guys. The list is so long.
Like 60 some odd names.
I have not counted. I don't want to count. I don't want to know. I just want to
look at the number of patrons we have.
Great. The list is long, but we appreciate that. So if you want to support this podcast, you can do that at patreon.com/chemicalfancast. If you pledge $2 more a month, you'll get your name on this handy dandy list. And there's also some other perks as well for higher tiers. But this is a big thank you to Tim Malpass, Vienna Langton, Gabby Dauber, The Boy Phantom, my mom, Tara LaMantia, Cherith McGregor, Katie Kelly, Melissa Contreras, Phil Grant, Amber Johnson, Caitlin Carnes, Anne-Louise Mullen, Dominique Gray, Liz Roswell, Bertha Villa, Jen Schillingberg, Vanessa Zermeno, Brianna Tong, Cassie Witt, Patricia Ignacio, Darcy Sheltman, Ella Bird, Jasmine Brett, Rianda Graff, Haley's sister, Casey Gerhart, Jacob Grimm, Alex Hausman, Ira Splendence, Jessica Labrizzi, Montana Miller, Sarah Joe, The Millennial Freelancer, Bonnie, Katie Tingy, Kale Haley, Fifi Mar, Megan, Emily Ronquillo, Brooke Tara, Kenya Noriega, Slim Arabia Gertz, Charlie Needles, Kathleen Harlow, Kristen Knight, Lisa Riddenor, Christine Gierzovic, Kirsten McNelly, Joanna Van Tyne, Robin, Alina Guier, Kathleen D., Clarissa Thomas, Olivia Elliott, Jess Acton, Ray, Sam Nukrich, Jessica Taylor, Phantoms Forever, Tara Smith, Gigi, Jennifer Tashina, Allison Morris, and Lucy Tima.
Wow.
Thank you guys so much for supporting us.
Wow. That's really, it's impressive.
It is a linguistic obstacle course every single time. But it's fun. Thank you guys so much for supporting us. We really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Haley, what if people want to talk to us?
They can't.
But what if they do?
All right. They can follow us on the socials, Twitter and Instagram at Chemical Fancast, Facebook My Chemical Fancast, and you can email us some things at mychemicalfancast@gmail.com.
We've made it, guys.
Wow.
As we mentioned, we have a couple Patreon episodes coming up, as well as a couple topic episodes we wanted to cover. So, who knows what's coming. Enjoy MCR's cryptic posts. Don't stress out too much about them. Get your tickets when they go on sale. Please, for the love of God, get your tickets when they go on sale. Hit up anyone who owes you money to get that paid back to you so you can get tickets when they go on sale.
Kill your local scalper.
Kill your local scalper. Do some rituals in the woods. Read some Aleister Crowley. Make a sigil. All the good stuff. And stay hydrated.
Yes.
But until next time, I'm Kat.
I'm Haley.
And this is My Chemical Fancast. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.